If there's been one constant with the Mariners over the years, it's the dominance of Felix Hernandez against the Athletics. He has a career record of 21-8 versus the Green and Gold and an ERA at a little over 2.5. No matter what the lineup is, the Cy Young winner has feasted on the A's, and tonight he gets the start at the O.co. The Mariners are swinging hot bats and are hitting home runs in bunches. Jesse Chavez will try to contain a Seattle team that he has had difficulties with in the past. King Felix and the Mariners takes on Jesse and the A's. Game 2 is next. Beautiful night for baseball at the O.co Coliseum. Game 2 of the series. The big fella, King Felix Hernandez, on the mound tonight for Seattle. And batter remains tonight for the Athletics, Stephen Vogt and Jesse Chavez. So last night the Mariners won 11-8. A's will try to even it up tonight. A's Mariners coming up on CSN California. Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. I'm Eric Chavez. I'm Glenn Kuiper. You saw King Felix, always tough against the A's. In fact, this is his 5th start against the A's this year, and he's good against everybody. He seems to be extra good against the A's.
Yeah, he really has dominated the A's. We talked about that 21-8 record. He's lost one time in the last 7 years here in the Coliseum, and that was last July when the A's beat him 2-0. So even in that victory, he still pitched really well in the Coliseum.
So he's got 2 wins and a no decision against the A's this year, and he's trying to join Dallas Keuchel as the only other 16-game winner in the American League. For the A's, Jesse Chavez makes his 25th start of the year, and he's really struggled against the Mariners this year. So hopefully he bounces back today.
Yeah, he's faced 4 hitters in that lineup that really see the ball well off of him. Cano, Cruz, Seth Smith, and Logan Morrison. But fortunately enough for him and the A's, Nelson Cruz for the 2nd straight game will be sitting out with a sore right quad.
And as you watch that highlight, that makes you feel good that Nelson Cruz will indeed not be in the lineup. So Jesse Chavez is looking for his 8th win of the season. So the Mariners have won 3 in a row. The A's have lost 3 in a row. A's will try to break that losing streak tonight with Jesse Chavez on the mound against Felix Hernandez. We'll have lineups and first pitch on a beautiful night for baseball in Oakland. Stick around.
For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
All right, we are set for baseball. He's taking the field, and it's game 2 of this 3-game series. Crazy game last night with the Mariners winning. Our game time weather for tonight is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. Nice night, 77 degrees. And, of course, an hour earlier start tonight. So center field and right field will be drenched in sunshine for at least the first couple innings, not much longer than that. Here's the lineup tonight for the Seattle Mariners. Ketel Marte leads off, the young shortstop. Then a hot-hitting Kyle Seager. Ace found out last night just how hot he is. Then it's Cano, Smith, Morrison, Trumbo, Miller, Sucre, and Sean O'Malley.
And the Mariners will be facing Jesse Chavez, 7-13 record on the year, making his 25th start. Has a 3.93 ERA. He has not fared well against the Mariners. His 0-5 record and 6 starts versus the M's. So he will be looking to buck the trend. One thing in his favor, Nelson Cruz out of the lineup again. He's got 3 career home runs off him. So that's a good thing for the A's.
A's defense has Smolinski in left, Burns in center, and Reddick in right. Valencia at third, Simeon at short, Laurie at second, Kenna at first, and Vogt is your catcher. So we are all set to go. Ketel Marte, the young shortstop, steps in. Jesse Chavez has finished his warm-up tosses. So Saturday night baseball from the Coliseum. First pitch is a bit outside, and we're underway.
First pitch, 6:07.
Marte hitting .270 with 6 RBIs. He was 2 for 5 last night. So he now has 10 hits against the A's in 4 games played this year.
Yeah, he's looking really good. Really good.
3-0 to Marte. Seager to follow, and then Cano here in the first inning. And the 3-1 pitch, it's outside, and Marte has a leadoff walk. So Sam Holbrook is calling balls and strikes. And Mark Carlson, your crew chief.
Kyle Seager.
So here is Seager, hot hitter. Big night last night. 3 hits, a double, a homer, 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. He's got 15 hits in his last 30 at-bats. So it's been a little bit of a down year for Kyle Seager, but he's trying to finish strong, and he is finishing strong with the month of September to play. 22 homers, 59 RBIs for Seager. Not bad numbers.
He's really had success against left-handed pitchers this year. I think he's hit the most home runs off a left-handed pitcher by a left-handed hitter. I think it's 10. And he hit one last night off of Pomeranz late in the game.
One delivery. He is a strike. 1-2.
This was the pitch last night by Drew. It was up and in. Pretty decent pitch. It's not the wheelhouse for a left-handed hitter, but as hot as Kyle is right now, he didn't miss it. And like I said, that was his 10th home run off a left-handed pitcher this year.
Last year, Seager had 25 homers and 96 RBIs. So the RBI total is down. It's surprising he has struggled with runners in scoring position this year. Just a 176 average. But whatever it is, he's dangerous.
Yeah, I think the RBIs too, though. I mean, that's more of a team thing. If the team's going good and you got guys on base, they really haven't had a leadoff guy pretty much the whole year. But they're starting to swing the bats a lot better. Now he's putting up better numbers. It kind of goes hand in hand.
1-2 pitches low. 2-2 the count. Who knows? Maybe Marte, since he's been called up, maybe that's helped Seager a little bit. He's been on base quite a bit.
It's contagious. Hitting's contagious. Cano's hot. Cruz has been hot the whole year. Other guys have been contributing in the last 2 months. I think they've been the best hitting team in the second half.
Well, we saw it last night. 11 runs, 13 hits for the Mariners. They had 4 doubles, a couple of home runs. All with no Nelson Cruz. Runner goes, and it's hit into right field, and that's a base hit. Marte will easily go to third. So with the runner moving, Seager found that hole on the right side. The Mariners are at it again, first and third.
Batting in the third position. Second base.
Now Marte doing what he's supposed to do as the leadoff hitter. Make the pitcher throw strikes, gets on base, got good speed. Kyle hooks a cutter on the back door there and sneaks it in for another hit. He just stays hot. He is red hot right now, finding all the holes.
So Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. And here's Robinson Cano. Something to it. Edgar Martinez taken over earlier this year as the hitting coach. Maybe it's all starting to sink in a little bit.
Sometimes a new voice helps.
Cano takes low. Robinson Cano was 1 for 5 last night. He scored a run. He's got 11 hits in his last 32 at bats. Another ball, 2-0. On deck is Seth Smith.
I was talking about last night about the takes of the hitters, and a lot of these Mariner hitters takes are real soft. They're seeing the ball early out of the hand, and they're quitting on the balls, and when the ball's over the middle of the plate, they're not missing it.
And that one is driven left center field, headed to the gap, and it is off the wall. Seager read it very well. He hustles into third, but he's held up. So Marte scores, and Cano has a double, and it's 1-0 Seattle.
Yeah, Robbie had the good take before, and Jesse has to come over the middle of the plate. 2-0 count. Robbie not trying to do too much. Head down, driving the ball the other way. Didn't try to pull it. Scores 1. They got second and third down, and the offense just continues to roll here in the second half for the Mariners.
Thought maybe Rich Donnelly was going to send Seager. Seager read that ball pretty well, but he stops him at third. Here's Seth Smith. And the first pitch inside.
Yeah, and there's no need to force that issue early in the game. It happened with the A's yesterday. Kind of the miscue with Burns and Wash, and bases loaded, nobody out. Valencia ended up hitting the grand slam. So you got good hitters behind coming up. Seth Smith, Morrison, both have had success against Jesse, so you kind of like your chances here.
2-0. Jesse falling behind the hitters.
It's amazing how you go along in your career and you have success and you don't have success against certain teams, certain players, and Seattle is just that team on the side for Jesse Chavez.
Yeah, and it doesn't always necessarily have a rhyme or reason to it. 3 starts this year and a relief appearance. Jesse just has not pitched well against them. And he misses inside. It's a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded. So now Logan Morrison comes up, and Kurt Young's going to visit. So Bob Melvin's not messing around. He has already made the call down to the bullpen. So Leone starts to throw.
I think this was the last thing that the A's wanted, especially after that long game last night. All the runs that the A's had given up, and they kind of wanted Jesse to kind of dig in deep and go 5 or 6 innings, quality innings, and this is not the start they wanted.
The breakdown for Jesse Chavez. First 12 starts, 4 and 6, a very good ERA of 3.16. But the last 12, not so good.
Number
ERA
20,
over 5.
first baseman, Logan Morrison.
Had trouble with the long ball. And in trouble here as Morrison steps up, a run already in. Morrison 228, 15 home runs, 47 RBIs. First pitch, a curveball, and Morrison swings over top.
I'm not really sure that's the pitch you want to be looking for. You got a guy struggling on the mound. He throws you an 0-0 breaking ball, bases loaded, nobody out. I think a curveball, even if it was for a strike, is not the pitch you want to be swinging at.
Seager, Cano, Smith are the base runners. Inside with a fastball. This was the last start for Jesse Chavez. Make it 2 starts ago, and Morrison got him for a line drive home run off the foul pole. A's had an early lead in that game, but the Mariners clawed back into it. Strike on the inside corner, 1-2. Mark Trumbo will be next. Bounced toward Laurie. Laurie fires to second for 1, and that's the only out the A's will get. Another run comes in to score. That's Seager, so it's 2-0.
Jesse got the ground ball. This is what he was looking for, but the ground being a little hard, kind of takes a hard hop as soon as it hits the ground and takes Brett too far to his left and spins. Nice throw to Marcus. There's no way to turn 2 right there.
So now first and third, 1 out. And Trumbo steps in. And is looking for a ground ball. Turn a double play. Combined numbers for Trumbo: 20 homers, 53 RBIs. Combined Diamondbacks Mariners numbers. It was June 3rd when Trumbo was traded from Arizona to Seattle. Broken bat, looped down the left field line, just foul.
Yeah, I think a little bit with Jesse, you gotta wonder if fatigue is setting in just a little bit over the last few months. He really started off well, and you look at his velo earlier in the year, and it's 93 to 95, and now it's around 90, 91, and even King Felix has dropped in velocity, and he's had some games that ballooned on him this year too. So when you lose velocity, it really, hitters are a little bit more comfortable. They could sit back a little bit longer. Your off-speed stuff is not as good, and your mistakes get hit all the time.
Outside to Trumbo, and the count 1-2.
We talked about the youth of the A's pitchers and learning how to finish out a season, start strong, finish strong. Certain adjustments that you can make. You talk to certain players that have been through it, try to get some advice.
Jesse closing in on 150 innings. That's a career high. Last year, 146 innings. Swing and a miss, and that's a big strikeout for Jesse Chavez. A fastball, and Trumbo missed it.
And it comes back with an 89-mile-an-hour sinker, middle end plate. Mark taking a big swing, pulls his head off just a little bit. You could see his eyes move away. He got away with one. That was a pretty hittable pitch for Mark if he was able to stay on it. And Mark's shaking his head. How did I swing right through that?
So 2 away. Here's Brad Miller. Miller bounces one over the head of Valencia. Simeon's throw to first, not in time. Trotting into scores Cano, and it's 3-0. You knew it was trouble once it got over Valencia's head, and it'll be a base hit.
There's that hard ground again. As soon as it hits that ground, you can see it takes off over Valencia's head. Marcus goes to his right, goes a long way. Got to get rid of it right away. I don't know that even if it was a good strong throw, it would have got Miller. He runs pretty well. So Seattle continuing to find the holes.
And here's Jesus Sucre. So Miller gets his 41st RBI. Tough year offensively for Sucre, hitting 107. He's got 8 hits in 75 at bats.
Yeah, I think they're really searching for that position right now. Yeah. They really want somebody to step up. I think they felt Zunino was going to be that guy, and he just wasn't able to come through with a successful year. So hopefully he's getting straightened out for them down there in AAA. And I'm sure he'll be back here in a week or so. Well, that's a big position. You up the middle, shortstop, center field, catchers. You need those guys to be really good.
There's a strike, and it's 2-2. In here in the first inning for Seattle. And now a full count. Morrison is at second, Miller at first. 32 pitches here in the first inning with Jesse Chavez.
But if you go back and you look at teams that have won the World Series, pretty much every team, there might be an exception to the rule, but every team has a plus defender, a plus player behind the plate. The catcher is so important to a team.
Sucre swings and misses, side retired, but 3 runs on 3 hits, a couple of walks. So Felix Hernandez has early runs to work with. not long ago. First pitch that Felix Hernandez throws in the game, Billy Burns hits it for a home run. Burns' third home run of the year, and second time he's led off the game with a home run, and he's going to be leading off tonight as expected. Rest of the lineup: Canna, Reddick, Valencia, Vogt, Laurie, Butler, Smolinski, and Simeon.
And the A's will be facing Felix Hernandez, a 15-8 record, a 3.66 ERA, which is a little higher than we are used to seeing from him. But he's pitched extremely well against the A's, owns a 21-8 record for his career. He has one loss in Oakland over the last 7 years. That was his last outing, July 4th, when the A's beat him 2-0.
Mariners defense has Sean O'Malley in left field, Brad Miller in center, Seth Smith in right, and Seager, Marte, Cano, and Morrison on the infield with Jesus Sucre doing the catching. So Billy Burns steps in. It's almost become a game now. What will the starting pitcher throw Billy Burns on the first pitch? Surprisingly, they keep throwing him fastballs
right there.
Not that one. That one.
What was the velocity on that? I think a wiffle ball.
And it was a strike, of course.
87. Took a little off. BP.
1-1 the count. Burns hitting .295 with 3 homers, 32 RBIs.
Good curveball. Just able to lay off.
Seager was playing in on the grass, and the ball's hit right to him. Burns is out. So one out here in the bottom of the first innings. King Felix, 29 years old, from Venezuela.
Playing first.
It's hard to believe he's only 29 years old. This is his 10th year in the big leagues.
Unreal.
He's done just about everything except pitch in the postseason, and I know he's dying to do that.
Is that true? Wow.
Made his major league debut in 2005, and the last time the Mariners went to the postseason was 2001. Got close last year, of course. The Mariners finishing just one game behind the A's for that second wild card, but he has yet to pitch in those big games in October.
And we talked about fatigue too with Jesse Chavez. I think with Hernandez maybe seeing a little bit. His is all the 200+ innings that he's been pitching and strikeouts, and it takes a toll on your body. And manager Lloyd McClendon pushed him back a start. I think his last start was against the A's in Seattle nine days ago.
Yep.
And McClendon is doing the same thing with Uikuma. So giving his big horses a break. And that's a manager having a feel, having a pulse for his team and his players.
3-1 now to Canna. 167 innings for Hernandez. It's that good-looking old Mariners t-shirt from the early days. Canna's out, 2 away. Major league history, most strikeouts before turning 30 years of age. Now remember, Felix Hernandez is just 29. He turned 29 in April.
Number 22.
So he is fourth on the list of most strikeouts before turning 30. Walter Johnson, Sam McDowell, Bert Blyleven, and Felix Hernandez. If you're above Nolan Ryan in any strikeout list, that's a good thing. Nolan was striking people out when he was 45 years old. That's beside the point.
Yeah, and Felix is going to have to do it a different way. He's used to overpowering. Nolan pretty much maintained that fastball throughout his whole career.
Yeah, I mean, very seldom now will you see Hernandez throw more velocity more than 93.
No, and he's
usually 92.
And it's addition by subtraction with him now. He's taken a little bit off. You saw him last at bat throw a 2-0 curveball. You're not used to seeing him do that. But he's just got good movement on his pitches. We talked the first pitch to Billy Burns looked like a wiffle ball. I meant he knows how to move the ball. That's why he's going to be successful. I don't think his strikeout totals are going to maintain pace the way he's done it his first few years in the league, but he's still going to be effective.
Yeah, this year Hernandez 8th in the league in strikeouts. He's got 158.
Yeah, Josh getting just enough of that ball. Bounces right in front of Sucre. Stays alive.
And Reddick swings and misses at a pitch down and in, and there is the first strikeout of the night for Felix Hernandez. So he has a 3-up, 3-down inning. Second inning coming up. Mariners 3, A's nothing.
Final home series of the 2015 season when the A's play host to their Cross Bay rivals from September 25th through the 27th. Come out and support the green and gold as the A's close out this year's home slate. Get your tickets now online at athletics.com/tickets or by calling 510-638-GO-A's.
Seems a bit strange to close out your home schedule with the Giants. It seems strange to close it out against the National League team in general.
Yeah, very late.
Quick 0-2 to Sean O'Malley, getting a start tonight in left field. There's the shadows for Josh Reddick. He's just about out of the sunshine.
I guess if both those teams were in it, it'd be kind of exciting.
Then it would be good. Yeah.
O'Malley had a great debut in Houston for the Mariners. He's from Seattle area. Had 3 hits, 3 for 4 in his debut. One of his heroes, Edgar Martinez.
And now he's your hitting coach.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Spent the year at AAA Tacoma, 297 there with 5 home runs. And the 3-2 pitch is inside, so he's got to walk. So back into the stretch for Jesse Chavez. So a frustrating start for Jesse. That's his
now batting
walk.
Number 4, Cattell.
And he threw 33 pitches in that first inning. So now Ketel Marte steps in. He walked and scored in the first. Shows bunt, and that pitch is inside. Doesn't happen a lot. Jesse usually has a pretty good idea of the strike zone, but does not seem to be the case early on tonight. There's a base hit left field. Marte just waited for a pitch on the outer half, and he just shoots it into left field.
Just another real good approach. Gets a fastball middle, running away from him.
Number 15,
good downward angle to the
Kyle
ball.
Seager.
Slaps in into left, and you can see why the Mariners are really excited about this guy. He's just been real mature. He's taking pitches, getting on base, and he's making plays at short. So he's really making a good impression on the M's right now.
So here's Seager. Seager singled and scored in the first. Changeup. And Jesse gets a swing through. And that one, a fastball in, and Seager went after it. He fouled it off his foot. It was well off the plate inside, but Seager went after it anyways.
Oh, off his thigh.
That's hard to do.
Right above the knee. Mike, was that a cutter or a sinker? Ooh. It was a cutter. Hits the top of the ball right into his thigh, knee area.
That'll leave a mark, I'm afraid. So 0-2, Cano to follow. A little bit low.
You know, it used to be with injuries and bruises that you would kind of let them sit around for a few days. But now the medical thinking is the day after with bruises, you get in there, you rub the area, and you get the movement back in,
Great,
in the area. Oh, yeah.
And that one misses badly inside. Runner trying for third, and they got him. O'Malley took off, and he's thrown out at third. Marte goes to second, and the Mariners will take a look at it. O'Malley is staying at third.
Yeah, this was a great block by Votey. Pounces on it really good. The throw just a little bit high up the line, just a tad, and I think that's what allowed O'Malley to get in there, and you can see the dive stays low.
Hand on.
Oh, it's close.
Very close.
Ooh, man.
Watch left hand and the glove.
Oh, man. They can't overturn it. But we said that last night, too.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Did they challenge it or not? Don't they have
I think
to?
they're still thinking about it. There's the tag.
This is going to be a tough one.
And this may be your best look.
Oof.
That last look right there, he looked a little more safe than out.
Honestly, I think it was a tie.
Yeah. So what happens is the crew chief and the umpire that made the call come over and get on the headset.
Right.
There's the hand is now on.
I would like to sit in that room in New York and
That's a good look right there.
hear the thoughts and conversations that are going on.
I just don't know that there's enough there to change it.
Yeah.
But again, we've been wrong. I've said that about 8 times this year. I've been wrong 5 of them, I think. And one thing we've learned with the replay now, second year of existence, is the initial call becomes monumental.
Right, and that's what we were talking about last night, but they ended up overturning that play.
And
wow.
Sticking with it.
And like you were just saying, if they called him safe, he would have.
That's exactly right.
Had to have been
whatever the
safe too.
initial call was there, I think it was too close to overturn it. And
Call on the field stands. Runner is out.
So Marte is at second, but now with one out.
And that was really a good read by O'Malley right there. Votey just had a good block. He bounced on it right away. Didn't hesitate. That throw was a little bit high, but the call went in the A's favor.
So 2-2 to Seager. A little bit outside, full count. Close pitch. Seager takes it, call the ball, and it's first and second again.
I mean, you know he's seeing the ball good. He just took a 2-2 backdoor curveball, just spit on it. Jesse comes back with a 3-2 changeup, and he didn't even offer at it whatsoever. You could see that four-fingered grip, turns it over, starts it in a good spot, but you're just looking at a hot hitter right now. He's seeing the ball really good and having really good at-bats.
So Cano double in a run in the first, another RBI opportunity for him, and it's up and away. 4 walks for Jesse. There was action in the bullpen in the first inning. So now it's 2-0.
Yeah, and the part of this game that's unfortunate too a little bit is, you know, Jack Zridzik, he put this team together and they really struggled early. I mean, everybody had picked them to win the West pretty much, and they just did not hit. They didn't play well.
Could be 2 out at second, and that is a double play. So when it's all said and done, the Mariners do not score. There was a couple of walks, there was a hit, but no runs. brought to you by Max Muscle Sports Nutrition, now with 25 Bay Area locations. Come visit our newest stores in Pleasanton and Gilroy. 3-0 Mariners lead, bottom of the second. They got all three of their runs in the first. And after crazy game last night, 3-0 just doesn't seem like that big of a deficit, although it is Felix Hernandez,
right,
who had a 3-up, 3-down first inning with a strikeout. Valencia hits one high to shallow right, and Seth Smith grabs it. So 1 out here in the second inning. Felix Hernandez trying to become a 16-game winner and join Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel has 16 wins, McHugh from Houston, and Felix at 15. And Evaldi, Lewis, and Burley with 14. I believe David Price got his 14th win earlier today as well.
I think Felix's career high is 19.
Yeah, he's never got 20.
Never had 20. He probably has 4 more to go, 4 more starts, depending on what happens tonight. He's got a chance to get back to 19, but probably unlikely.
That one's going to drop into left field for a hit. So Stephen Vogt with a 1-out single.
Stephen's been swinging the bat a lot better. He was kind of going through a little lull for a few weeks, and I think fatigue sent in. He went to the All-Star game, didn't get that rest, and he's really been swinging a really hot bat the last 10 games or so. So it's a good sign for the A's.
So Laurie hits. I'm just looking at the Felix Hernandez win totals in his career. 19 wins in 2009. He was 19-5. Since then, his win totals 13, 14, 13, 12, and 15. In fact, he won the Cy Young in 2010, and he was 13-12 with a 2.27 ERA.
Yeah, I think that's where the sabermetrics, they've gotten that right with the wins and losses. It's not the whole story.
Last year he was 15-6 with a 2.14 ERA. And a lot of people thought he was going to win the Cy Young, but Corey Kluber won it. It was a very close vote. He finished second, obviously. And I don't think Felix is going to win it this year, but he'll be in the top 5 voting, I'm sure. Laurie off his foot. So he'll walk it off. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, I really don't think we're going to see the dominating pitcher that we've seen, but you're going to see some of this. The ball's moving all over the place. Throws a sinker in off of Brett's shin right there, and ooh, that does not feel good. But he's a veteran guy now. He's pitching more. He always knew how to pitch, but he had the good stuff, the dominating stuff. He's not going to be dominant, but he is going to be very good.
Interesting breakdown here, and we're going to tell you why that ERA in the 7 losses is so high. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's a nasty pitch, and that's his second strikeout.
Yeah, and that's that dead fish pitch. It's pretty much a fastball, and he just grips it a little bit more in there. 3-finger changeup, has movement down. This is one of his best pitches that he's had. And when he threw 97, when I faced him, that 90-91 kind of dead fish fastball, changeup, whatever you want to call it, was just devastating. And that's why I think he's tougher on lefties than he is on righties, because he has that pitch.
First pitch to Butler. So Felix has had 2 starts this year that are actually head scratchers. In Houston on June 12th, Xavi, he gave up 8 earned runs in a third of an inning. In Boston on August 15th, he gave up 10 earned runs in 2 1/3 innings. How does that happen? So, I mean, listen, you can't do it, obviously, but eliminate those 2 starts. His ERA is pretty good, but
I mean, look, your baseball card is not going to be clean every single year of your career. It's not going to happen. You know, we talk about Kyle Seager's year, maybe a little down year. I don't think so. I think it's been a pretty productive year, and just because he didn't hit in the first half doesn't mean it's not a good year. So you looked at Sonny Gray's last outing. You know, it's just going to happen. These guys are the best in the game. We're used to seeing them dominate, and when they don't, we're like, well, what's wrong with them? Well, a little bit less velocity. Sometimes when he goes out there, he just doesn't have it, and he can't get away with it.
Sonny gave up 6 earned runs in his last start. Did that in 5 innings. Now, I would think it's very difficult to be a top-level starting pitcher year after year after year. You throw so many pitches.
I don't think there's anything at this level that's not tough to do, to be honest with you.
Especially as a player on an everyday basis, producing.
You've got to completely reinvent yourself year after year, whether it's your workouts or your diet or your sleeping habits. You know, I talked about on day offs, getting up and actually leaving the hotel room and walking around, and it's a tough game. And players are getting better, they're getting younger, they're confident.
Three-two to Butler, outside corner, strike 3 called. 89 miles an hour. So a good pitch there. That's 3 strikeouts for Felix Hernandez, and the A's do not score in the bottom of the 2nd. To use hashtag CSNCA Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Nice crowd tonight with fireworks coming up after the game. Santa Claus catching out the ball game before he gets busy. He's a busy man. So Seth Smith steps in. First pitch is outside. We got a new right fielder for the A's, Jason Pridey. So Reddick is out, and if there's a specific reason injury-wise why he's out, we'll let you know. Have not heard yet. So Pridey is now in right field, and he is hitting in the third spot. Two-0 pitch. Smith taking all the way and takes the strike. There's a line drive to left, and that's a hit. So Seth Smith, another leadoff base runner for the Mariners. Well, tonight the fireworks is all about Green Day, and Green Day threw out the first pitch today. Terrific band from the East Bay. They are now members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. So it's fun to have those guys in the house. And that is the theme tonight, Green Day, for the fireworks. Final fireworks show of the year here at the Coliseum. Here's Logan Morrison. Morrison reached on a fielder's choice and had an RBI in the first inning.
You know, I think as you look into 2016 for the A's rotation, they're going to have a lot of options.
Oh boy, aren't they ever?
Yeah, and it's a good thing that they're going to get some guys back healthy, coming back with injury.
Right field, Pridey's back near the wall, and he's going to run out of room, and that's a home run for Logan Morrison, and it's 5-0 Seattle. So the home run gets Jesse Chavez again.
And the continued success against the Mariners against Chavez. We talked about the 0-5 record. Talked about some of the hitters who have good numbers against them, and they're doing damage again tonight. And the one hitter who's done the most damage is not even in the lineup, Nelson Cruz, but this is a fastball right down the middle. Logan didn't miss it. He didn't get all of it, but he got just enough to hit it over the wall. These Mariner hitters, they're hot. They're locked.
You can tell.
They're comfortable. They're seeing the ball well. Laying off tough pitches and not missing the mistakes. That's a mistake right over the middle. Trying to go away with it. He doesn't miss it. Not as hot as they are right now. They're not going to miss those pitches.
2-0 to Trumbo. Now 3-0. So for Morrison, his 16th home run, and for Jesse Chavez, the 18th home run that he has allowed this year. And a 4-pitch walk. That is walk number 5 for Jesse. And I think that's going to do it. So a very disappointing outing for Jesse Chavez. 2+ innings and 5 runs on the board for the Mariners.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back games for the A's. Aaron Brooks leaving the game early yesterday. Jesse leaving the game early today.
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. It's your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming in to pitch for the Athletics, number 68, Arnold Leon.
On sale now. Get on board early with 2016 priority seating and choose your exact seating location for next season. A's offer a variety of full and partial season plans that qualify for great benefits, including half-price parking, the flexible ticket exchange program, and more. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/2016.
So Arnold Leone comes in. And his first pitch is outside to Brad Miller. So last night, Leone did not pitch. The A's used 6 of them, 6 relievers last night.
What was the total count? 14, 15?
15.
15.
Yeah. Bounce slowly towards Simeon, who has it, throws to first, and they get Miller. Out number 1, Trumbo to second. Now, last night the A's used 6 relievers, and those relievers went 6 2/3 innings and threw 127 pitches. So Aaron Brooks lasted 2 1/3 innings. Tonight, Jesse Chavez 2+ innings. So luckily it is September. The rosters are expanded. The A's have 10 relievers in their bullpen. But it's not something you want to do a whole lot. And last night, Aaron Brooks could not hold an early lead. Tonight, the Mariners jump out ahead. Line drive. This could be a double play, and it will be. So Trumbo is doubled off second base. That's how the inning ends. Logan Morrison with a 2-run homer. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. It's Seattle 5 and the A's nothing.
On MLB.com Premium. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 400 supported devices, real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widgets, and more. Visit MLB.tv today.
It's a nice night at the ballpark, but now the A's are trailing 5-0 to Felix Hernandez. Time of possession has belonged to the Mariners in this one. A's have 1 hit in the first 2 innings against Hernandez. It was Vogt's 1-out single. Felix has 3 strikeouts, and the first pitch on the outside corner, strike to Smolinski. The Rangers and the Angels are tied 1-1 in the 4th inning. That's game 2 of that big series down in Anaheim. Angels won last night 5-2. Holland for Texas. Weaver for the Angels. Chopped foul. Rangers have the second wild card right now. The Angels are 2.5 back of the second wild card. So that is why that's a big series. And a foul tip, strike call. Slinsky tried to check his swing, but he got a little piece of it. Sucre held on, and it's a strikeout.
Yeah, it looked like just a fastball away, 92, a little sink on the outer edge. Felt tip. Sucre stays with it.
That's tough at bat. So one away for Semien. Breaking ball for a strike. You don't want Felix Hernandez to find a nice rhythm, and I think he's close to finding it.
No, he's in it.
I was trying to be kind.
No, he's in it. I mean, you could just his body language.
Yeah.
Reset, get back on the mound, make a good quality pitch. You see why he's so tough. His ball is moving all over the place, and the sinkers, sometimes they've got a lot of movement, sometimes they've got a little. Look at that curveball. That curveball, it was a ball, but just the bite on it, it's very sharp.
He doesn't throw that curve a lot, but he always seems to bring it out at the right time.
Yeah, definitely. If he needs to make a pitch with the runner on base, you can bet your bottom dollar he's throwing that curveball.
Marte, and they got him. Ketel Marte ranging far to his left, and he made a very nice play.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw this from him last night. I like the way he positions his body. He moves his feet, centers up the ball, kind of gets around it.
Number 1, Billy Burns.
Makes a nice little throw. McClendon was talking about how they know they're going to have some growing pains with this player. I think he made a costly error last night, but he went far for that. Good strong throw.
Just got him. Here's Burns.
Yeah, and this was a pretty nice stretch by a pretty big guy. It definitely helped out right there.
Yeah, that's a good example. When you play a little first base at the end of your career, it's a good example of proper stretching. Because not only do you have to stretch with your legs, you got to stretch with your arm.
Yeah, that was a big deal.
And
right
a lot
there.
of guys just stretch with their legs.
Yeah. And he's not primarily a first. He's a outfielder by trade too. So he has been playing first base most of the year.
But at some point, the stretch, part of the stretch has to be your arm reaching out. And that's where you're going to get the ball quicker.
That's how you finish it off, yes. And he's had some pretty nice picks. There were some balls in the dirt yesterday that he picked out, so that makes a huge difference.
Just watch Morrison use his legs, but then right at the end, he reaches for it. We'll get it. And that, look how close it is.
Yeah, and the timing of that's perfect. That was the one thing I had to learn. I was stretching too early.
Sure.
And I'd get out there, I'd be sitting out there, and I couldn't finish that off.
Can't
like you were
move,
talking
right?
about. Yeah.
It's going to be the shortstop, Marte, over the shoulder catch. 3 up, 3 down inning for Felix Hernandez. So we're on to the fourth. Mariners 5, A's nothing. good crowd tonight, with the fireworks coming up afterward. Mariners with a 5-0 lead over the Athletics. Sweet hat. So Arnold Leone, his first pitch to Sean O'Malley. Called a strike. O'Malley walked in the second inning, getting a start in left field.
You know what I want to find out? I want to find out the origin of fireworks and why they were even started in the beginning.
We have people that can look that up for you. High to right field. Pridey near the wall. Gone.
What a start for O'Malley. Hometown kid doing his hitting coach, his hero.
And there you go. First career home run for Sean O'Malley. So congratulations. Looked like an off-speed pitch.
Yeah, it was. It was a changeup just hung up there. And O'Malley's just swinging a good bat right now. He's hot. Looks like a good little player. Sure, he's got a lot of folks watching back home and very proud of him right now.
So he's a happy young man. Richland, Washington is where he is from. Isn't that in the Tri-Cities area? Richland, I believe. Simeon toward the line, and he stays in fair territory, makes the catch for the first down.
Now batting, number 15.
So it's official.
Kyle
The baseball has
Seager.
been retrieved.
You know, a good reason why they do that now too is, you know, that Kirk Gibson home run, 88.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where the ball's
Nobody
at.
knows where the ball is. Yeah, I've heard that. So here's Seager. Seager has singled and walked, and he has scored a run. A little bit low. 2-0. Jesse Chavez just 2+ innings. That one's hit to shallow center. Burns broke back. Now he's got to hustle in. Laurie going. Laurie caught it.
What a play.
Sensational play by Brett Laurie. Burns was not going to get it. It was Laurie or a base hit. And watch this play.
Wow, what a great play. Outstanding.
Now batting.
He's going hard all the way, turns back around, kind of overruns it a little bit, stays with it. It's an outstanding play. He's looked really good at second base, looks real comfortable.
So that is the second out. Nicely done by Brett Laurie. And here's Cano. Cano has doubled in a run. That was in the first, and then he hit into a 4-6-3 double play. Curve first strike. Now has 60 RBIs. He looked down, or looked at Billy Burns to see where Burns was, and he realized
Burns,
that Burns was not going to get it. Curve hit off of Leone. Laurie charges, underhands to first, side retired. So Arnold Leone is okay. Home run for O'Malley. And a nice play by Laurie. So bottom of the fourth coming up. 6-0 Seattle.
To watch the A's take on the Texas Rangers on September 22nd, 23rd, or 24th. And everyone in your suite will receive an A's replica pullover. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/pullover.
That's the Green Day suite. They're having a good time in there. So if the fireworks are kind of dedicated to your music, you got to stick around for fireworks, right?
I think so.
You would think. So 6-0, and Felix Hernandez faces Canna, Pridey, and Valencia. So right now you may want to try to get Felix Hernandez out of this rhythm that we were talking about, because he's kind of rocking and firing, and he's around the strike zone.
Yeah, you do. And I think as a hitter, maybe this is where you try to break up his rhythm. You call time on him a couple times, try to frustrate him. Little sportsmanship.
Good pitch there. There's that curveball that, again, he just doesn't throw it a huge amount, but it's a good pitch.
He's been throwing it a lot tonight.
Yeah. And he can also flip it in there like that for a strike, or throw it a little harder for a strikeout.
Bounce it.
And that is just foul. Canna grounded out to third in his first at bat. Canna had a couple hits last night, scored a couple runs. He drives this one toward right center. Miller on the move. Miller near the wall, and it is gone. Well, it got up there and it just kept going. So Canna with home run number 12, and the Athletics get on the board against King Felix.
Well, that's how you break up his rhythm. Take him deep, dead center. Good at bat. Fastball up in the zone. Mark taking his hands up to the ball, getting on top of it, staying in the big part of the field, and good swing.
Pridey hits it toward Morrison, who juggles a little bit and then has to quickly get it to first.
Felix pretty much had his way the whole night, and he has a fastball up. Not a terrible pitch. It was up in the zone. Mark just put a good swing on it, didn't miss it, drove it out to center field. Well, the ball's been flying out in that direction last night tonight. It's not typical for night games here in Oakland, but Mark swinging a hot bat.
So here is Valencia. Valencia hit a fly ball to right field. Much as he steps on the bag. And he took his time getting back to the mound.
He was mad about the homer.
I think he was.
His ankle's just fine.
Way inside. Well, he's one of those guys. He's good enough where you think he thinks no hitter till he gives up a hit, and then he thinks shutout till he gives up a run.
Right.
In for a strike, 2-1. So off speed, breaking ball on 2-0.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the difference you're going to see in him moving forward. I mean, you can't rear back and throw that 94 just wherever you want anymore. Just adapting.
He's adapting just fine.
And that's tough as a hitter. I mean, he's capable of, even though it's 89 to 91, he's got that late movement and running in off your hands. So you're always wary about that. You still got to respect him. 2-0. You're thinking, all right, maybe a sinker down and in. He flips you a curveball. 3 in a row.
And that was a nasty one, and Valencia could not pull the trigger. Strikeout number 5.
And he did. He went back 3 curveballs in a row.
Now batting the catcher.
Just good command of it. It's moving really well tonight.
So now Vogt will hit. 2 outs. Nobody aboard. Canna with a home run here in the bottom of the 4th. Curve for strike.
It's 4 in a row. I thought you said he didn't throw a lot of curveballs.
That shows what I know. You should have corrected me because you would know better than that. 21% curveball, so that's a fairly high amount. But with him, the fastball percentage was 44%, and that's very low.
Yeah, tonight he has been using it a little bit more, and he's fresh. You know, like we talked about, he's got 9 days off. Does a lot of good for the body and the mind. Refresh you a little bit.
Fastball in, so that one at 93 miles an hour, and if nothing else, maybe a purpose pitch on 0-2 just to come in a little bit.
And 93, he used to sit at 93.
Yeah.
You know, now that's his pitch that he uses to set up his other pitches, and he puts it in a good spot. Moves Vogt's eyes a little bit, his feet. Now he can go to something off speed. He can go to that changeup sinker, and he goes right back to the fastball, and Steven does not miss it.
So Stephen Vogt is 2 for 2. And he's one of the few guys who has had a lot of success in his career.
And there's a reason why you see that where guys do have success against pitchers over their career, even though they're good ones, is they see the ball well. The pitchers that you can see the ball well, regardless of whether you're going good or bad as a hitter, if you had success off them before and you're picking up the ball, those are pretty good numbers against a pretty good pitcher.
11 for 20. So off speed pitch drops in for a strike to Laurie. Laurie struck out in the 2nd inning. Fastball at 92 miles an hour. So now it's 0-2.
That was a good swing by Brett too, and he's had some decent success against Felix.
So Laurie will try to fight Felix Hernandez here, down on the count 0-2. And he hits a shot fair. Headed for the corner. Here comes Vogt. And they're going to wave him home. And now they're going to hold him late.
Yeah, that's the right call.
Yeah, Wash was waving him, and then right at the last second, he held him up.
That's definitely the right call right there. I know it's 2 outs and you want to press the issue, but Vogt's not the runner that's going to light up the speed guns. And once you see the clean bounce and the clean exchange, you shut him down. It's another good piece of hitting by Brett too. He took a good swing the pitch before, and he's had some good numbers against Felix.
So second and third, 2 outs, 3 hits off Hernandez here in the 4th, and Billy Butler steps in. Butler swings at that first pitch curveball. Butler struck out in the second inning. He is 8 for 36 with a home run in his career against Felix Hernandez. Chopped over the mound, and it's into center field. A base hit. 2 runs are going to score. It's 6-3. So it just chopped right over the head of Hernandez.
Yeah, and I talked about the infield too. Man, as soon as it hits that dirt right there in front of home plate, the ball just takes off. That's a seeing eye single, and that's why you stop him right there. You just don't run into an out at home plate just to force the issue. You're down 6-1, second and third. You got a pretty experienced hitter in the 7-hole. He's able to come up with a big clutch hit for the A's.
Smolinski rolls it foul. Well, Felix Hernandez, he's not having a problem getting ahead of hitters, at least in this inning. But he hasn't been able to put him away.
Yeah, I think pitch selection, especially ahead in the count 0-2, 1-2. You can maybe question that a little bit.
0-1 to Smolinski. He struck out in the 3rd. Seager, a nice play, flips to second side, retired. A's get 3 runs on 4 hits to get themselves back in the game indeed. So we're headed to the 5th inning, and it's now a 6-3 game. Mariners leading the A's. Arnold Leone back out there for his third inning of work. So it'll be Seth Smith, Logan Morrison, and Mark Trumbo for Seattle. 7 hits for the Mariners, 5 hits for the A's. And the first pitch to Smith is a strike. Smith tonight, a walk and a single, and he has scored a run. He scored on the Morrison home run in the third. So the A's get 3 off of Felix Hernandez last half inning.
You know, I think you made a really good point about Marte and kind of some of the other hitters getting hot, and it just adds a different element, a different speed to the game where you're base to base. Normally you don't have a prototypical leadoff hitter who's taking pitches, getting on base, causing havoc on the bags. And I think it does a lot. The flow to their offense is really good right now.
And Seth Smith shoots one the other way into the corner, and I got him 5 innings in a row with the leadoff man on.
And that was just a pretty piece of hitting right there. And as a hitter, especially for me, left-handed hitter, that swing and that result right there, hitting a line drive down third base line, was more satisfying than a home run. I mean, that just reminds me of Tony Gwynn just slapping the ball all around the field and having back control, hitting it where the pitch is. And they're hot, man. They continue to swing the bats. They just keep coming. They've had the A's numbered the last few years here, and they feel comfortable. They know they're going to put some more runs on the board, and they're a confident team right now.
So here's Morrison. The count 1-0. Well, this year the Mariners are 10-4 against the Athletics, 30-26 against the division.
This will be the 3rd year in a row they've had a winning record against them.
Yeah. And there was a time period before there where the A's kind of dominated Seattle.
Yeah, it actually flip-flopped. I remember being through a couple of those years. And we went up to Seattle and we just took a whooping. Yeah. And then I think there was about a 2-year period where they couldn't beat up. I think we might have gone like 20 and something.
Yeah, there was one
something
year
ridiculous.
I think you guys lost twice or 3 times maybe.
Something ridiculous.
It was 20-2.
Is that what it was? 20-2. I mean, it's just weird. You just go through the season and you just have those teams and players just have your number. And that was just a pitch right down the middle, and Logan missed it. Kind of hit it off the end just a little bit, but he's a strong kid. Man, whatever you want to call him.
Well, he had 2 RBIs last night. He's got 3 RBIs tonight. 50 on the year. This one fouled again, left side. We've been told it was 2006, and the A's went 17-2 against the Mariners.
I knew it was a pretty good number.
Won every game at home.
Those are some of the runs against teams that can propel you into a playoff position too.
And it did.
I mean, I know when interleague play started, we went to the interleague, National League, and just dominated teams, and that really, you know, we weren't a team that got off to a hot start. April and late May, we'd start playing better. We'd go into National League parks and just sweep everybody out of the park. So.
And at that time, it was always in June. It was a stretch.
June and July. You're correct. But for a while there, the A's had the best interleague record.
So 3-2 to Morrison. Trumbo to follow.
But you definitely want to win within your division. That's a key point.
The A's, on the other hand, are 26-30 inside the AL West. Both these teams will have a say, though, with the Astros and the Rangers and the Angels. Mariners play Texas 7 times. They play the Angels 6 times. They play the Astros 3 times. Another 3-2 to Logan Morrison. And another foul ball. The A's, on the other hand, have 6 left with Texas, 6 left with Houston, and 3 left with the Angels.
I'm definitely interested to see what the Houston Astros are going to look like coming in this week. And they got Springer back, and Correa's in the lineup now. Altuve. A lot of good things going on in Houston right now. They've just been fun the whole year. They've kind of struggled on the road a little bit, and they've won some big series lately the last few weeks. But I think they're here to stay. That team's for real.
3-2 pitch again, hit left side, and this one should reach the seats, and it will. That's right. The Astros Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
And I talked about how tough it is for a first-year young team to kind of just finish it off and make a playoff push. And I think the additions that ownership they built up that bullpen. They brought in some veteran guys that they struggled with the year before. And then obviously adding Kazmir, Fires from Milwaukee through the no-hitter.
Burns has to hustle over to left center, and he's got it. So the long at bat ends with Morrison being retired. Well, you mentioned Fires and Kazmir, and
Now batting,
those are the 2 guys that are scheduled to pitch
Mark
Monday night and Tuesday night. Have not heard exactly who's going to pitch on Wednesday. TBA on the notes for the Astros and their starter on Wednesday.
No, I always felt that was one of Billy's best points as GM when I was here. Was we always had young talent, young pitching, but he always brought in a few veteran guys to kind of even out the clubhouse and lead by example. You know, David Justice, Ron Gantz, John Jaha's.
You know, a guy I've heard people rave about, and he was a pitcher, but I think it sits with your point. It's Jim Messier.
Yeah, Messier.
He was great in the clubhouse, and he fit a great role on the bullpen.
Well, you talk about even in Toronto, LaTroy Hawkins, you know, adding him, and he's 42, whatever he's doing, and I'm kind of afraid the game is going away from that a little bit, because I really do think it's important to have 1, 2, 3 leaders, you know, 1 in the bullpen, 1 in the rotation, and then 1 position player to kind of even out things. I like the fact that the game's gotten younger, and these guys are studs, there's no doubt about it, but they need some guidance too.
Sure. And that's a base hit left field, and Seth Smith being waved home. The throw to the plate is cut off. Throw to second base in time. Trumbo's out, but the run does come in to score. That's Seth Smith to make it 8-3. So Valencia cut it off and fired to second.
But the Mariners are just making hitting look extremely easy. They're just teeing off.
now batting, number 5, Brad.
And that ball was hit extremely hard. Thank goodness for the A's that he got on top of that, hit it on the ground. Good cutoff right there by Valencia to take the out. I saw Trumbo hit a ball above the windows in the upper seats up there in batting practice about 4 rows back. I mean, it was pretty impressive.
So Trumbo gets the RBI there. So 2 outs, bases are empty, 7-3. Brad Miller had an RBI hit in the first inning and a ground out in the third. He's hitting in the 7th spot. Big swing, fastball right around the letters.
Yeah, we talked about earlier too, but Jack Zuricnik putting this team together, and he got fired, and they let go the hitting coach earlier in the year. But sometimes in this game it can be a little bit unfair. I mean, this is a pretty good team that they put together, and I think a lot of people kind of were wondering why they would sign Trumbo and make some of the moves that they made, but this was not anybody's but the players' fault. This was a good team that they put together, and they just did not perform. And sometimes you gotta, as a player, you look yourself in the mirror, and they know it. They know they weren't up to par. This is the team that they envision having, and the way they're playing now, and this is why sometimes change can be good. A new voice, a new look. Same hitters, I mean, I know.
And I think a lot of the struggles of the Mariners this year falls on the pitching staff. They just did not perform.
They really did. Yeah, that was a big shot. I know they had some injuries too, but and then the bullpen too. Rodney faltered down a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's completely different. Last year their ERA was 3.17. It led the American League. This year it's 12th. 3-2 the count to Miller. Another pretty good at bat by a Mariners hitter. And it's a little bit inside, and Miller has a 2-out walk.
Yeah, to me, there's 4 aspects of this game that are very important to a team. It's starting pitching, bullpen, offense, and defense. And if you're going to be successful in this league, 2 of those 4 have to be going for you. You'd prefer 3 of the 4, and obviously, if you're St. Louis Cardinals, all 4 of the aspects are pretty good, but the A's pitched extremely well first half. But the bullpen couldn't get it done. The offense was just good enough.
And the defense struggled.
And when the defense and the bullpen struggle late in games, in 1-run ball games and close games, you got no chance.
No matter how many runs you may score,
you got no chance.
1-0 to Jesus Sucre. 41 pitches for Leon out of the bullpen, and the bullpen is quiet.
And I was thinking about this yesterday too, with Marcus Semien at short and the work that he's been doing with Wash and the strides and the improvements. When the end of this year, he's going to wish this year never ended, because he's going in the right direction. He doesn't want it to stop, and hopefully over this offseason, I don't know if he's going to continue to play somewhere or what their plans are for him, but he's got a good thing going. He's heading in the right direction. There's a good man right there. A lot of energy.
One to Sucre, who has struck out and lined into a double play.
But you're going to look at his errors, and you're going to raise some eyebrows a little bit. And this is his first year at shortstop, first full year, so it's not an easy position to learn at this level. I made my first year at third, transitioning from short to third, I made 32 errors. And then the following year I made 22.
Sure.
And I was actually called up that year, and that's when I got together with Wash, and we just ironed things out. But it was every year. It was continuing to make progress and change things and improve things and talk about things. And I know they got a good relationship, and that needs to continue through the offseason.
2-2 the count to Sucre.
It's very important for hitting coaches and pitching coaches to make phone calls over the winter to their players. How you doing? How's the family? You feeling good? How your workouts going? All right. What's our plan here? December, January. What are we going to think about doing?
Can a coming over. He won't get it. Into the seats. I can't imagine learning a position at the big league level.
No, me neither.
Difficult.
Me neither. There's no way playing shortstop and then transitioning to third that I could have just been thrown right into the fire. I didn't. I made 32 errors in A-ball.
Sure.
So you could have doubled that for me at third.
Valencia handles it, fires to second. Out there, side retired. A run for Seattle. So we're going to the bottom of the 5th inning from the Coliseum. Mariners 7, A's 3. Sportsnet Central. It's all brought to you by Hyundai, and it's tonight at 10:30, and it's on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Take a look at the 49ers and Raiders final cuts. Get down to the roster size. Steph Curry's in Manila, and Cal and Stanford open up their seasons. We'll have highlights of their games. So Kelly Johnson and Henry Wolford will host. Bottom of the 5th, Marcus Semien will hit first, and another first pitch breaking ball for a strike. Seems to be the pattern for Hernandez tonight. A lot of breaking balls, especially on the first pitch. And Diddy starts to throw. Semien grounded out to the shortstop in the 3rd inning.
You know, I really doubt that they talked about this as a game plan, that we're going to throw more curveballs tonight.
Okay, shows off that arm, fires it across. So tomorrow we'll be back with you for the 3rd and final game of this series, and the pitching matchup: Hisashi Iwakuma against Sean Nolan. So we get to see Sean Nolan for the first time in an A's uniform. There he is. Big, tall left-hander. Came over in the Josh Donaldson trade to be the 28th different pitcher used. That will set a new Athletics franchise record when he steps on the mound. So most pitchers used in a season by the Athletics. So we're looking forward to seeing Sean Nolan.
I think the Mariners have done the same thing too.
That's true. So 12:30 A's pregame live, then 1:05 first pitch. So again, he's big, tall left-hander. He was injured in spring training, so got a little bit of a late start, and then get injured during the season as well. But he's healthy now. A's have very high hopes for him.
Yeah, we talked about maybe the game plan for Felix, and No, I think he gets together with a catcher and the pitching coach, and they go over the hitters and maybe some of their tendencies. But Felix has been around for a long time. He knows himself. He goes down to the pen. He knows what's working, and he just has a feel for what he wants to do up there, and seems to have a pretty good rapport going right now.
Burns lofts one toward the bullpen. No problem.
A good rapport with Sucre. He hasn't really been shaking him off too much, and they seem to be on the same page.
One-two pitch, and it's a breaking ball in the dirt. Burns swings at it. He's retired. So that is 6 strikeouts now for Felix Hernandez. And that was that breaking ball that we talked about. Throw it hard and in the dirt.
Now batting first baseman.
This is, oh my God, you can just see it drop off the table right before it gets the home plate, and he's just really got that curveball going tonight.
I thought it must be interesting for a pitcher, and Hernandez is one of the best. You're out there first couple innings, and all of a sudden you realize I got a good feel for the breaking ball tonight.
Yes, it's got that extra bite. Him and the catcher will be walking into the dugout, and they'll talk about it.
Seager gives ground, makes a nice play, throws in time, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Felix Hernandez. So 6th inning is coming up. 7-3, Seattle leads.
Annual Breast Cancer Awareness Day, presented by Zevia, zero-calorie soda, and supported in part by Athena Bottled Water, Nelson Staffing, Comerica Bank, and the State Roofing Systems of San Leandro. Prior to the game, 10,000 fans will receive a breast cancer awareness scarf, courtesy of Zevia. To join the fight, purchase your special tickets now at athletics.com/survivor.
All right, so Pat Venditti comes in. He's about to face a switch hitter, and that's O'Malley, so he let everybody know. He declared what arm he's going to throw with. He said, I'm throwing left-handed.
Sean O'Malley.
So O'Malley will hit from the right side. What am he doing? What's he going to do? He's throwing left. And the first pitch, right field, and that's going to drop fair. O'Malley with good speed, hustling for second. He's going to make it easily. Well, he's very fast. Sean O'Malley, a walk, a homer, and now a double. So they're right back after it, the Seattle Mariners.
Now batting, Number 4.
Yeah, he doesn't wait around. First pitch, dunks it into right, getting out of the box quick. And he does have some wheels. Motoring around, barely touching first base. Stand-up double.
He's got his first home run of his career, and now he's got his first double. Until Marte bunts, Venditti throws to first. So it'll be a sacrifice for Marte. Gets O'Malley to third with 1 out. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. And the numbers for Pat Venditti. So Bob Melvin has not been afraid to use Venditti. This is his 16th appearance.
I think Marte too, as he gains a little confidence and scores 7-3. They're up. Runner on second, and they're sacked bunting. And I don't mind the bunt right there, but I think he's going to learn to maybe try to bunt for a base hit, at least give an opportunity where he's not giving himself completely up. And the best I ever saw at that was Derek Jeter. I mean, as good as he hit the ball to the right side of the field. And one, too, it doesn't go against your batting average. Even if it's a bunting for a hit, it's a sack bunt.
Sure.
So that's something he'll learn, too. I mean, right there.
So try to hit the ball to the right side. You may get a base hit.
That, too. But I'm just talking about the sack bunt right there.
Nice play by Venditti, and O'Malley's in a rundown. And he's tagged. The throw to second base is just a little bit late. But the A's get that runner. O'Malley, they cut him down at home plate, so that's where the big out occurred. So it was a check swing, or full swing, but just a dribbler back to the mound, and with his glove, Venditti flipped it.
Yeah, and the most important part of that play is Steven, as soon as he gets that ball, runs down O'Malley. You got to go 100%. You have to get this guy going back in this direction. You don't want him to float in the middle. He gave Valencia an opportunity to turn a double play. A nice play by Pat right there. Flip of the glove. Steven goes after him as hard as he can, gets him going. And the A's were almost able to prevent Seager from going to second.
You know, here's Cano and a slider. He swings and misses. So 2 outs with a runner at second. Cano a double, a ground out, and another ground out. He hit into a double play in the second, so he's 1 for 3. A little low from Venditti, but a good pitch. Swing and a miss. Arnold Leone goes 3 innings, gives up 3 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and no strikeout. So pretty good job by Arnold Leone. Tried to slow things down a little bit after Jesse Chavez was knocked out in the 3rd. He struck out Cano, side retired. So a hit and a runner left, bottom of the 6th coming up. Mariners 7, A's 3.
Rewind. Logan Morrison early in the game going deep to right. And a fastball down the middle by Jesse Chavez. Then O'Malley coming up with his first career home run. Hometown kid. Mark Canner. A's trying to come back deep to center field. Alfred Hernandez gets the A's going deep to center. And then Billy Butler with a big 2-out, 2 RBI knock. And the A's are trying to make a game of it. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PICK-ATT, mobilizing your world.
So Priddy to lead off here in the bottom of the 6th, and takes a first pitch strike. Jason Priddy came in the game in the 3rd inning. Good breakdown of what Hernandez has thrown tonight. We've been talking a lot about that, and a lot of curveballs.
And I think it's pretty easy to say, well, go out there and sit curveball, but this is not just a rolling curveball that he flips over for a strike. It's a pretty good curveball.
Like that. So Priddy strikes out. 7 strikeouts for Hernandez. And Priddy is in the game, and he came in for Reddick. Spin on that baseball. But Reddick batted once, and then a couple innings later left, and the announcement was that he left due to illness. We don't even know exactly what it was. So we hope Josh is feeling better. And Valencia takes a strike. 5 in a row retired by Hernandez. 75 pitches, so the pitch count is in decent shape. Valencia tonight, a fly ball to right field, and then he struck out looking. Swing and a miss. And 89 miles an hour. I don't believe that was a breaking ball. That looked more like that changeup. Throws it hard. It almost acts like a splitter. Tough pitch to hit. Watch it just dive down.
Now batting the catcher, number 21, Steven.
So Valencia with a couple of strikeouts tonight. So Vogt will step in. Vogt hits one high in the air toward left center, playable. O'Malley circles it. He's got it, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning. 7 in a row retired by Felix Hernandez. So we're through 6. 7-3 Seattle. Where comes the 3rd quickest player in Major League history to get to 60 home runs in a season. He accomplished the feat in game number 141. Ruth and Maris got there quicker, and that was the summer of Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire, and they put on quite a show. And it was fun to watch. So Big Mac traded from the A's to the Cardinals. It really came together for him in St. Louis. Finished with 70 home runs in that season of 1998. 363 home runs he hit with the A's. 583 total. Not too shabby. So Seth Smith to lead it off. So I'm double checking my scorecard here, Eric, and in the first 6 innings the Mariners have had their leadoff hitter on every inning. One of those was a home run. So he was on for about 12 seconds as he ran around the bases. Every inning the leadoff man has been on. Walk, single, homer, double. 2-1 now to Smith. Smith has walked, singled, and doubled. He has scored twice. So he's done a good job hitting out of the cleanup spot tonight. Slider catches the inside corner. 2-2. The Rangers and the Angels are still tied 1-1 in the 7th inning. So we'll keep a close eye on that one as it gets closer to wrapping up. The Angels trying to beat the Rangers for the 2nd night in a row. Smith drives one to center, sending Burns back. Billy's got room. He's a step from the warning track and he grabs it. So Smith is retired for the first time tonight, and here's Logan Morrison.
Now batting, number 20, Logan Morrison.
Morrison 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer. He also knocked in a run with a fielder's choice, so he's got a 3 RBI game. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike. Trumbo to follow here in the top of the 7th inning. That slow slider, 71 miles an hour. So 2-1 now to Morrison.
Yeah, I think if you're a left-handed hitter, Venditti's one of those pitchers that you can go ahead and sit off speed or slider pretty much the whole at bat. It's a tough thing to do. You really got to commit to it.
Burns coming in, still coming in, makes the catch.
But I had a conversation with Jason Giambi about hitting lefties, and he hit them phenomenal. He hit everybody phenomenal, but I asked him what his
number 35,
what his thing was facing lefties,
Trumbo.
and he said, Chavi, you're going to have to sit off speed. You're just gonna,
Really?
you're going to have to do it off of lefties. And I think there was actually one year where I had a really good year off of lefties, and it was because I had that approach. You know, and there was times where I'd go up there looking for the slider curveball. They'd throw me 3 fastballs right down the middle, and I'd look kind of dumb, but I stuck with that approach the whole year, and I had pretty good success.
That may be the hardest thing, right? To stay
hard.
with it.
So hard.
If it maybe doesn't work a couple times.
It's so hard.
Trumbo, strikeout, walk, and an RBI single.
But that's why I think everybody's heard me talk about too. Like, stick with your approach. Like, we're very concerned about results, and we're an industry driven by results. But as a player, get caught up in that routine and the process of what you're trying to do. We don't know what these guys are thinking in the box. We really don't. We don't know if he's looking off speed, fastball, what's going through Mark's head, but there needs to be something. He needs to have an approach of what he wants to do up there on the plate and stick with it.
And a slider and a good inning for that Venditti. So Venditti goes 2 innings with a couple of strikeouts. 7th inning stretch coming up. 7-3 Seattle. So busy day in sports with college football getting underway. Here at the Coliseum, 7-3. Brooks Hernandez and the Mariners leading the A's. There's the breakdown. 7 ground ball outs, 3 fly ball outs, and 8 strikeouts for Hernandez. First pitch to Laurie, and first strike. Laurie, Butler, Smolinski against Hernandez here in the 7th. Marte charges, scoops it up, and will throw on the run. Here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's. On this date in 2011, Billy Butler hits 2 home runs right here at the Coliseum. He hit one off Rich Hart, and then he hit one off Craig Breslow, and that was 2011. Billy Butler with the Royals. And there he is. 4 years ago. 2-homer game. He's done it 7 times. He's got a 2 RBI single tonight. He's got 50 RBIs now in the year. Struck out in the 2nd inning. Curve and a good one, and it's 1-1. In that American League East, the first place Blue Jays beat the Orioles today 5-1 behind David Price, who got his 14th win. Batista another home run. He's got 32. So the Blue Jays roll on. 46,373 was the attendance in Toronto, and that's been their attendance for every game for about a month now, it seems like, anyway. Chopped into right field. Cano not moving real well. Looks like he's limping a little bit. Butler has his second hit.
Yeah, we kind of noticed that yesterday with Cano running to first, not full speed, but Billy gets a changeup, stays on it. It's that dirt again. How many hits have we seen with the dirt in front of home plate just take off and find a hole?
So hit number 6 for the Athletics. So the Blue Jays won. The Yankees lost today. Rays 3, Yankees 2. Nate Eovaldi got this loss. Just his 3rd loss of the year. So with that said, the Blue Jays win, Yankees lose, and Blue Jays now have a game-and-a-half lead over New York in the East. Oh, 0-1 to Smolinski. Twins got a big win today, 3-2 in Houston. Santana got the win. Gregerson got the loss. Lowry hit a home run, but not enough. So the Twins, right in the thick of that AL wildcard race, get a huge win. And the Astros now keeping an eye on that Rangers game. With that loss, the Astros lead is 2.5 now over Texas. Curve hit to Seager. He scoops it up, fires to second for 1, and that's a double play. Pretty smooth, 5-4-3, and Smolinski hits into the double play. 8th inning coming up, 7-3 Seattle. Photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to CSNCA Data Strong Fan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Tonight's fan photos from Amanda Hunter. We appreciate the photo as always. Tonight at the Coliseum with fireworks coming up after the ball game. Crowd of over 27,000 tonight. Trying to figure out Felix Hernandez. The A's have not been able to do that. They trail 7-3. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. RJ Alvarez steps in. So it's been Chavez, Leon, Venditti, and now Alvarez. After using 6 relievers last night, 3 so far tonight. And Pat Venditti does a nice job. 2 innings, gives up just a hit. It's a couple of strikeouts. Foul ball alley, heads up there.
I think I hurt Clay Wood's feelings with the infield. The dirt in front of home plate.
Let me guess. Let me just guess. You got a text from Clay Wood, and he doesn't like you saying the infield is hard.
Yes.
How did I know that? Just a little sensitive about that subject.
I know he is.
Yes, the touch, just a touch.
Hey, listen,
sensitive.
Listen, there's nobody better. I'll tell you what, this field is as good as any field out there. Very rarely were there any bad hops, and the only time is when the field was changed to a football field. And I think the A's and the A's ownership are trying to change that a little bit, but they do a great job. The turnaround here, it's amazing that you could be playing a professional football game here, and the very next day you're playing a baseball game. So
yeah, it's hard to believe.
They do a great job. Stop crying, Woody.
I am not the least bit surprised that you got a text. Smolinski, a long run, and right near the line, makes the catch. Miller is retired. So here's Jesus Sucre.
Now batting, number 2, Jesus Sucre.
Vote. Like he needs a new mitt.
Malfunction.
Yeah.
Flat tire.
Making sure it's his. Only the other catcher would understand. Sucre is 0 for 3. First pitch is a slider that stays high. Fegley trying to fix it. Get a little help from Walt Horn. One and one the count.
And usually one of the trainers is very good at fixing gloves. He's got an equipment bag that he uses, and Walt Horn was my trainer in AAA Edmonton.
Really?
Back in the day. Great man. Been around the game for a long time.
He's a nice man, Walt. One of the good guys in baseball.
Absolutely. And you see him pulling out his bag of goodies. I think Steven may need a new string now.
No sweat. Now, Walt's one of those guys, if you ask him for something, he'll like go into this little bag, but there'll be like a million things in that little bag. And whatever you need, he somehow has it. It could be the most random thing. Hey, Walt, I need a toothpick. All right, let me go into my bag. We love that guy, Walt.
I do. I absolutely love him.
3-2 now to Sucre with O'Malley waiting in the on-deck circle. The Texas Rangers have taken a 2-1 lead over the Angels in the top of the 8th inning. Sacrifice fly by Rougned Odor. Big series down in Anaheim. Right there on the corner, Sucre knew it. 2 away here in the 8th.
Now RJ just rearing back and letting it eat. Good life fastball. Outside part of the plate.
36.
Stephen Vogt using his new glove. Or Fegley's glove, whoever's it is.
So here's O'Malley, and what a night he has had. A walk, a homer, and a double. September call-up, he's 5 for 6 with a batting average of .833. Good swing there, fouled it straight back. One and one the count. 10 hits for Seattle, 6 hits for the A's. I think the Mariners have received 6 walks in the game. So they have had base runners all over the place. one 3-up 3-down inning. That was Venditti in the 7th, and Alvarez trying to do it here in the 8th. Inside. Nelson Cruz battling a little quad injury. First 2 games of the series, the Mariners have not missed him. And that one missed somewhere. I don't know where, but it's called the ball.
Yeah, this did look like a pretty good pitch. RJ comes back with a fastball, a little crossfire. It looked like a pretty good pitch.
Ketel Marte.
But I like the way RJ's throwing the ball. He's throwing it with confidence. We talked about last night how Ryan Dole, kind of the same thing, just not too worried about the result. Let me just get this ball and make the best pitch I possibly can.
Top of the order, Ketel Marte. Walk, single, pop out, and a sacrifice. Marte playing in his 31st game in the big leagues. Well, the Mariners are going to get a good look at him. He'll play through this month, so now you're talking 50 games or so on his resume. Will it be enough to give him the starting job in spring training? Who knows? Maybe.
He's going to have a good shot. I mean, the offense looks good. The speed is good.
And he's got another hit. Just slaps it to left field.
But the deciding factor when you're playing shortstop is consistently making the routine plays. It's kind of the same thing with Marcus. And, you know, we know Marcus can make the great plays. I've seen some really good things from Marte, but I think McClendon and Bob, they want to see, especially the shortstops and middle infielders, bring their leather every single day. It should never slump. You're going to have your errors, yes. Hitting's going to come and go. He's going to use his speed to stay out of long slumps, but the only thing that matters to the Mariners and Lloyd is just fielding that routine ball every day.
First pitch to Seager is low. You know, it reminds me a little bit, and this guy played more in his first year, but the second baseman for the Rangers, Rougned Odor, he played quite a bit last year, and he had a really nice year. Starting second baseman this year,
right?
And he really struggled. He was hitting a $140
really
in May, and they sent him down, and he came back, and now he's hitting like he did last year.
Right.
It's just the point I'm trying to make is it's hard to know what you're going to get from a really young player, and Marte is 21 years old.
Right.
And Odor was 21 years old.
And it doesn't even mean the player that we're seeing now is the player we're going to see next year either. So
could be he could be a more mature player, or he could take a step back. You just don't know.
You never know. Yeah. But I really do think it's important. Being sent down is not a bad thing. There's been plenty of good players that were called up and optioned back down to AAA, and it's a pretty impressive list actually when you go over it. But it's all in the mindset.
Did you get sent down after you were brought up?
I did not.
Was there a time maybe in your first full year where you were thinking, you know what?
Yeah, I was actually. Yeah, I had said something in the media too, and I don't think Billy was too happy with me. But you know, I was platooning with Almeida Sainz, who had pretty good 2-3 years with us when I first came through, and I was platooning with him, and I had said something in the lines of, send me back to AAA so I can play every day. And then Art pulled me in the office and told me to shut my mouth.
But I mean, did you feel that way because
I really wanted to, development-wise?
You just wanted to play.
Yeah, I wanted to play every day, and I didn't feel like I was there yet. And I think at times at this level, I felt overmatched.
And don't you think? I mean, a young player who's really, really struggling, he probably would never ever admit it. But deep down, they may want to go back to the line.
Yeah, I don't ever think that's the case. I mean, you need
to take the pressure off.
Yeah, you need to be honest with yourself. And
Seager on 3-0 rips one toward right, and it is off the wall. 1 run scores. Marte will stop at third, and just to show you how confident Kyle Seager is right now, a 3-0 pitch, and it was a high fastball, and he ripped it off the right field wall for an RBI double. I don't even know that was a strike.
Yeah, this was another pitch that's up, but he's proven in this series that that's his pitch right there.
22,
up and in,
Robinson,
top part of the zone, and usually for lefties, the sweet spot's down and in. But he's hot right now. He's feeling good. Mariners are putting up runs, and it's a fight at the bat rack right now for the Mariners.
So Mahika gets up. That's 4 doubles for the Mariners tonight. They had 4 doubles last night. So a tough team right now. They're looking for their 4th consecutive win. So 8-3, top of the 8th. Not close, 1-1. The frustrating Alvarez got the first 2 outs with a fly ball to left and then a strikeout.
Yeah, but I really do think as a player and a professional, you got to be able to criticize yourself and critique yourself and be honest with yourself as a player. Sometimes that's hard to do. You get players that are at this level, they're in a big league uniform, they all feel like they should be playing. And that's why it's so important when you bring in role players that they do understand their role and they accept it, and they're not complaining to the media about playing time the way I was complaining. But I think you should all feel like you're the one that should be playing.
Sure.
You should feel that way. That's why you're here. And it was when I left Oakland and I ended up in New York, they would always ask me, how did I accept that role from being starter every day and middle of the lineup and to a role player, and I just had the right mindset for it.
Yeah, I can't imagine if you don't think that you should be a role player, that you should still be playing every day. I can't imagine that you're going to be good at being a role player.
Yeah, you really do have to embrace it. And I knew I just physically I could not be an everyday player anymore, and I just had it in my mind that I was going to be a professional, go about my business the right way, be ready to play whenever my number was called, and felt like I did pretty well in that role because I accepted it.
1-2 pitch to Cano. Grounds it slowly to Simeon, who has it. Throws to first. Side retired. Cano not moving real well, but Seager is RBI double. It's 8-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Game summary. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Lots of runs again tonight for the Mariners. 8-12-0. Last night they scored 11 runs. For the A's, 3-6-0. Felix Hernandez has been good again. 87 pitches through 7 innings. Sean O'Malley, he's got a home run and a double. Jesse Chavez, another short outing for an A's starter. Jesse was knocked out in the 3rd inning. Solo home run by Mark Cannon. That was in the 4th inning. The 4th inning is when the A's got all 3 of their runs. That gentleman right there, his name is George Sokovich, and today he is celebrating his 99th birthday. Congratulations, George. He looks great. He's got his A's jersey on. 99th birthday.
Happy birthday, George.
Man, that is awesome. And he's at the ballpark. He may be taking a quick nap, but that's okay.
He's resting his eyes.
That's right. He's getting ready for a big bottom of the 8th inning. So happy birthday, George.
He's waiting for the fireworks.
Yep. Felix Hernandez back out there, jumps ahead of Simeon. 0-2. We got some defensive changes. Stephan Romero is now in left field. O'Malley moves over to center. Brad Miller is now at second base. Canoa's out. And Robinson Cano was not moving well. In fact, he was almost limping. So they're going to get him out of there. Top of the 9th in Anaheim. Texas 2, the Angels 1. Two pitch is tapped towards Seager. He waits for a good hop, then gets a quick throw off, and a nice play by Seager. Sometimes I would think, as a third baseman, you got to go back, give a little ground, you get a better hop, and that's what Seager did there.
Yeah, and he's looked really good the whole series. He had the one error yesterday, kind of a mental error, not really a tough play, but he's made some nice plays. He's got soft hands, good arm, good reaction, moves his feet well.
So 1 away, and here's Burns. He's have 6 hits off Felix Hernandez, with just 1 in the last 4 innings. And that one was erased on a double play. (2-0) the count to Burns, who has grounded out, popped out, and struck out. Looks like we'll get Edward Mujica for the top of the 9th inning. There's a strike. 92 miles an hour on the fastball. And it was pitch number 95. And again, remember, as Eric pointed out earlier, Felix Hernandez pitching on 8 days rest. So he should be pretty fresh. Miller quickly the first to get Burns, 2 outs.
Clarification on Seattle changes. Number 17, Stephan Romero is now playing left field, batting in the 3rd position. Brad Miller is now playing second base. And number 36,
with the way he was moving around, you almost
field.
have to wonder, will he be available tomorrow? Yes, he could DH.
Now batting, first baseman, number 20, Mark Cannon.
Well, with the way the lineup is swinging the bats, it's definitely not going to hurt. I wonder if he's going to be in the lineup tomorrow. Nelson Cruz, he was out taking BP today, hitting bombs everywhere.
First pitch to Cannon. Curve for strike. Snaps in there right on that outside corner. Cannon, a home run in the 4th. It was his 12th of the year. He's also grounded out twice to Seager. Seager's been busy today.
why the day before the ace pitches on any team, you kind of want to get that W.
Yeah.
Takes the pressure off a little bit, and it's going to be a tough task beating one of the better pitchers in the game, especially with the success that he's had here in Oakland and against Oakland throughout his career. But he's giving everybody fits, not just the A's.
That one on the inside corner, first strike. This is the home run by Canna in the 4th inning.
Yeah, this was pretty impressive. It was a fastball up. Looked like he was taking some pretty good swings off of Felix that at bat, and high leg kick, gets the foot down, drives it out to center field. Good swing.
2-2 pitch. Just hit foul. Hernandez, in his career here at the Coliseum, he's 10-3 with a 2.72 ERA. So pitch number 102, and here it is. Got him swinging. So that is strikeout number 9. So Felix Hernandez has been good through 8 innings, and we're going to the 9th. 8-3, Mariners lead. So handshakes for Felix Hernandez. So he's done for the night, looks like, with 8 very good innings. 6 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and 9 strikeouts. So solid start. He leaves with a 5-run lead. So pitching change for the A's as Edward Mejica comes in. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and repair expert. So Mejica, for appearance number 43, 3-4 with a 4.43 ERA. Jay Alvarez goes an inning, gives up a couple hits and a run. And another hit for Seth Smith. This one shoots the gap. And it's going to end up going all the way to the wall in left center field. And Smith has his 3rd hit. He's got a single, 2 doubles, and a walk. Hey, Eric, the leadoff man's on again.
Yeah, I know it. Hitting is definitely contagious, and Seth gets a changeup. Not a bad pitch.
Number 20,
just stays on it, locked in, eyes on it all the way. head down, drives it the other way. Good piece of hitting. It's another Mariner hot hitter.
That's Joe Beimel, the lefty. That's 22 base runners for the Mariners in this game. Morrison swings at the first pitch, pops it up left side. And the shortstop Marcus Semien grabs it. So Logan Morrison is retired. He goes back to the dugout now, 1 for 5.
Number 35,
Trumbo.
Mark Trumbo.
Rangers brought their closer in, Sean Tollison, to try to wrap up that game down in Anaheim, with the Rangers leading 2-1. Rangers trying to pick up a game in the first place Astros. Trumbo, a little flare. Laurie out, and Laurie makes a nice catch. Again, he was the only one who was going to make that play. Pridey was not going to get there.
First pitch swinging again. Trumbo off the end, trying to loop one over Laurie's head.
Number 5, Brad Miller.
Most important part of this play, when the ball goes up in the air, is to gain ground early. Right away, go after it. Don't drift with the ball. Pick it up, run to a spot. Brett playing some really good second base right now.
First pitch to Miller, swing, missed through a Mahika fastball. Hitting a walk tonight for Miller. And a high fastball, he missed it, 91 miles an hour. So 0-2 the count. In the 9th inning, these will have Pridey, Valencia, and Vogt. It'll be against Joe Beimel, the left-hander, who's warming up in the bullpen. That is a base hit left field. Here comes Smith, and they'll hold him up. Rich Donnelly puts up the stop sign. So Miller has his second hit, and that's 14 hits now for Seattle after 13 last night.
Now batting, number 2.
This is just good two-strike hitting by Miller right here. The first 2 pitches kind of comes unglued, no balance. That one he just gives himself up, flat feet, good balance. Puts the barrel to the ball, doesn't try to do too much. That's what you try to do with 2 strikes. Give yourself up.
First pitch is on the inside corner to Sucre for a strike. Sucre is 0 for 4. He's hitting 101. I don't know if he knows that or not, but he probably wants a hit badly.
Yeah, I think he's the only one in the lineup that doesn't have one right now.
I feel bad for the guy. You may be right. And you are.
Stick with it, Jesus. Keep battling, bud. It'll change.
Pitch there, call the ball, 2-1.
It's not an easy job being the backup, playing, not knowing when you're going to be playing. I mean, you go a full week and a half without even playing, so.
Hit high and foul. Mahika is pitcher number 5 tonight. They're hanging in there because fireworks are coming up after. Can't miss that. Let her go. This ball bounce foul. looking at us.
Stop looking at me.
Sucre hits a high fly ball. Burns to his left. He's got it side retired. So the A's need 5 to tie, 6 to win. See if they can get it going against Final. 8-3 as we go to the bottom of the ninth.
Brought to you by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Here's tonight's Honda Player of the Game, and it is Sean O'Malley. After going 3 for 4 in his debut for the M's, hits his first career home run, deep to right, switch hitting, right-handed. Gets his first career double down the right field line, and after rooting for the M's pretty much growing up his whole career, getting an opportunity to show his hometown fans what he's capable of doing.
So Joe Beimel, the veteran left-hander, comes in. Hernandez goes 8 innings. And here's Beimel. Tyler Leydnorf's going to hit for Priddy. First pitch is hit hard into left field, into left center field for a base hit. Well, Leydendorf doesn't wait around. Season for Joe Beimel, 2-1 with a 4.78 ERA.
Valencia.
42 appearances, 37 innings pitched. Beimel had a good year last year for Seattle, but he went unsigned pretty much the whole offseason and then signed late back with the Mariners. So here he faces Valencia. Just in case the closer is up. The Rangers beat the Angels 2-1. Derek Holland went 8 innings, so he has pitched well since coming back from the disabled list. Smith took the loss. Tollison got the save. The Rangers got a run in the top of the 8th to break the tie. Pitch, swing and a miss. So with that, the Rangers pick up a game on the Astros in the West, so they are now just 2 back. And the Rangers hold on to that second wild card spot. So the Twins are 1.5 back of the second wild card. Angels are now 3.5 back. So they'll play the rubber game of that series tomorrow. So 2-1 the count. To Valencia. Vote to follow, and hopefully a whole bunch more. So everything is final around Major League Baseball. Valencia stays alive to keep it 2-2. Rest in that AL Central, the Royals running away with it, so they're going to win that division. But a battle in the East and a battle in the West. National League, the Mets have a 5-game lead over Washington in the East after tonight. Cardinals a 6.5-game lead over Pirates in the Central. And the Dodgers and the Giants both won, so that lead is 7.5. So some decent sized leads in the National League as far as the divisions go. Not much of a race in the National League wild card either. Right now, the Pirates and the Cubs. Nobody's really even close to either of those two teams. Two and 2. Leidendorf, decent lead at first. And now a full count.
Well, a lot of similarities between the Cubs and the Astros. Young players, adding veteran pitchers.
Good call.
John Lester.
It looks to me like both those teams, when you're talking about the Cubs and the Astros, they both have a chance to be good for quite a while.
Yes.
Cubs got some terrific young talent.
Feel I've seen can some kind of build a winner. And they were very patient. They took their lumps for a few years too, and when he went over there, they had a plan, 3-year plan. They've arrived a little bit sooner than I think everybody thought. So has Houston. But they went ahead and got their manager and Madden and just kind of put it all together.
Right at the second baseman. And it's going to be Miller to Marte to Morrison, and it's a double play. 2 away here in the 9th.
Yeah, pretty routine double play ball. Miller going from center to second.
The catcher.
Nice little flip to Marte. Routine double play.
Eric, I saw an interesting note on the Mariners. The fact that it's been a struggle for them this year. They just have not been able to string together like a real good month. You know? They have not had a winning month all year. And their longest winning streak this year is 4 games, and they've only done it 1 time.
Wow.
Now they're 1 out away from
4 games
doing it for the second time. But
yeah,
I thought that was interesting, and I also thought it was hard to believe, because even teams that are not very good, they will string together a good month, or they'll string together a couple decent winning streaks. Mariners just have not been able to do that. A lot of win 2, lose 2, win 2, lose 3.
Yeah, can't put it together. And when you're inconsistent offensively and the pitching, and the bullpen was faltering. Now they're playing better baseball, and promise you for the months of September, they're probably going to have a winning record.
Yeah, that's a good call because they are playing well. A's will end the season in Seattle with a 3-game series.
A lot of players in that dugout. My goodness.
A bunch.
Moose has got to order extra food.
Little pop-up. Marte gets back. The shortstop has it. And for the second night in a row, the Seattle Mariners defeat the Oakland A's, and they've been putting on an offensive show in both of the games. 2 hours and 57 minutes was time of game. 27,387 was the attendance, and Felix Hernandez picks up his 22nd career win over the Athletics. So Hernandez gets the win, Jesse Chavez gets the loss. Final score: Mariners 8, Athletics 3. You've been watching A's baseball on CSN California. It's part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Brody Brazil and Shooty Babbitt starts right now.